So the eagle-eyed among you will notice that I am not in the workshop. I'm currently on holiday in Cornwall, and I wasn't going to do a video this week because I'm on holiday, but I decided to go to Truro Cathedral because I'm a stonemason on holiday. So if I'm going to go to any county with a cathedral, you can be absolutely sure that I'm going to visit that cathedral. I'm going to visit it hard. So I went to Truro Cathedral and I filmed some stuff there. So this is going to be a little short and sweet video about my larks and japes around the beautiful Gothic masterpiece that is Truro Cathedral. But I do have to do just a couple of things first, so bear with. That's quite enough of that. Should we go and look at Truro Cathedral? There it is. How nice that is. Isn't it mad that there are just like Gothic superstructures just lying around in city centres all around the country? Lovely. Should we go for a little walk around it? I don't think it's open yet. Should we do some facts? Cathedral facts. It was built between 1880 and 1890, so it's a Victorian Gothic revival situation, excitingly. One of the spires was made of copper as well, which I thought was quite nice. I love a copper roof. Kind of a shame that you can't stand further away from it to like take it all in. That's the problem with like inner city cathedrals, isn't it? Like everything's built up around them, so you can't stand far enough away from them. Wow, so beautiful. It feels very neat and pristine compared to Lincoln. I quite like the kind of scallopy details in those quatrefoils as well. They're cool, aren't they? Lots of dog's teeth as well. I love a good bit of dog's teeth. I especially enjoyed how wonky the centre line of this rib vaulting was. I think the Victorians have a reputation for being very neat and very precise, so it fills my little masonry heart with joy when I see wonky Victorian like this. Look at the wonk on that centre line. Lovely. Like, no shade, I do love a Gothic revival cathedral, but I do think they're just a bit too neat. Because when you go to like Lincoln or Salisbury or like a proper old medieval one, there's like graffiti on all the walls. Like all of these walls in a medieval cathedral would just be like thick with graffiti. And this is very lovely and neat and tidy. But I like to see all the bodges and all the alterations and all of the scribblings. Feels like it's more human when it's covered in scribblings. I really like these round, like this like blind arcading here. Everything else is pointed, pointy, but for some reason this one is round, and I like things like that. Because it's like, it's round, so you're like, oh, that's Romanesque, but obviously it's not, because it's Gothic revival, but it's got some like early English style stiff leaf with its 3 lobes, but then it's got teeny tiny little micro dog's teeth in these caps, but just on that one, not on any of the others. And my masonry brain is going, why has this one got dog's teeth and all the rest don't? Was this mason just like winging it and saying, I'm doing dog's teeth today? Why? Look at that. The detail on that, that's mad, isn't it? Oh God, I'd love to do something like that. I think they've got misericords under here, I think, but they don't have any flipped up, and there's a red rope. Oh, but I really want to go and flip up some of them seats. So tempting, isn't it? I wonder if anyone would notice if I just went along and flipped up a few seats to have a look at some misericords. Have I mentioned how much I love dog's teeth on everything? Look at that. Oh gosh. Thick with dog's teeth, that is. Have I mentioned how old this building is yet? It was built between 1880 and 1910. So it's basically brand new. That's why it's so crispy. I think there's some photos of it in the museum being built, so I might womble over to the museum. Enjoy a good ceremonial mallet. I should get a ceremonial mallet. Ceremonials. Another amazing rose window. That's very cool. Oh, and the organ. Lovely. Who do I have to pester to be allowed to go up there? So my only fact about Truro Cathedral is that it is one of only 3 cathedrals in the UK that has 3 spires, and if I can get far enough away from it I'll try and get the whole thing in a video, but it's one of only 3 cathedrals with 3 spires, so 10 points to anyone in the comments who can tell me the other 2 cathedrals that have got 3 spires. Right, I'm off to the museum now. The museum was housed in this absolutely beautiful building. Look at that! This is the typewriter that was used to write Poldark. How exciting is that? That might not be exciting to anyone else, but it's really exciting to me, because books are cool. So, just in case there are people fromst abroad who do not know, Cornwall is quite famous historically for mining, but mining metals like tin and copper. And this was actually really exciting for me. These are all different types of copper. I didn't realise the copper came in so many different forms naturally, and they just had cases and cases full of different types of copper, these amazing crystal looking things, and then different types of iron and tin looking like absolutely beautiful crystals. So I've got a bit of a new obsession now with finding really cool copper rocks. This is more like it. Big rocks. Do you know what though? I think if I wasn't a stonemason I definitely would have gotten into geology, because like just rocks are just really cool, aren't they? Not in like a crystal kind of way, like crystals are cool, and like if you want to buy crystals and think crystals are magic, then like go for it. But like, just general geology, cool rocks are just cool, aren't they? I think I'd definitely be a geologist if I wasn't a stonemason. There it is, Truro Cathedral, under construction. 1901. Oh, don't make them like that anymore, do we? So, okay, that was Truro Cathedral. Here's my thing, right? 2 things. I haven't decided if I'm going to actually post this video yet, because it feels very self-indulgent to be like, oh, look, I'm on holiday, pretty things, self-indulgent. And I don't feel like this really adds anything to the internet, does it? I feel like there's a pressure on people who are making content like this to like add things to the internet and not just be like, here's a pretty thing to look at. So, still haven't decided if I'm going to post it, but then I am quite a self-indulgent kind of person, so maybe I will. Second thing, Truro Cathedral's gorgeous. All cathedrals are gorgeous. All cathedrals are beautiful in their own way. My thing is, I struggle with like a Victorian Gothic revival cathedral. They're too perfect. You know, if they're built in like 20 or 30 years to one design, they're not that old, so they're just so crisp and clean and perfect and lovely. And I just prefer the medieval ones because they just have so many layers of history. They've got all the bodges and the add-ons, and this fell down and then we rebuilt it, and then this was bombed in the Civil War and then we rebuilt it, and it's got graffiti everywhere because obviously in the medieval period graffitiing churches was just like totally the norm. So there's like all the hands of all the people that have been through there, and it's just like a big juicy lasagna of history in medieval churches. So when I go into a Gothic revival, like when I went to Liverpool Cathedral and like this one in Truro, that are very impressive Gothic superstructures and very perfect, I just think it's missing something. It's missing all the history, or like the people. It doesn't feel like it has as much personality because you can't see the hands of the people that have been there. Does that make sense, or am I just rambling on? Let me know in the comments if anyone feels the same. I realise that as a stonemason, I'm supposed to just be looking at the architecture and going, how perfect, how geometrically perfect. But there is just the historian, time-travelling side of me that just really wants to see all the bodges and the broken bits and the graffiti and like the little weird idiosyncrasies of these kind of buildings. Anyway, that was my little trip to Truro Cathedral with a little glimpse of my holiday. Normal service to be resumed. I am carving stone next week. I am working on site. Things are happening. There will be some actual exciting videos coming up, I promise. It's been a bit of a weird month with getting my dissertation finished, with having holidays and stuff not really going to plan at work, but stuff is going to plan from next week, and there will be lots of on-site fixing in the workshop, carving. Stuff is happening. Right, it's the last day of my holiday. Boo! I suppose I better get packed, go home, have a glass of wine. Actually, I am actually going to go surfing right now. Got my surfboard. So I'm going to leave Truro and drive to Polzeath and go for a last surf, the final surf of the holiday. And then I'm back at work on Monday. So see you in the workshop.